can you feel that? The air itself. It changes sometimes. Deep in the wild, you know?
Yeah.
You find these places where the veil between things feels, well, thin. Places that whisper ancient secrets. Not just about, like, trees and rocks, but other things, unseen things.
Oh, right.
It's like the forest is watching you, holding its breath.
Or maybe you're just a bit spooked. Humidity and bats can do that to you.
You need to sit down, getting jumpy.
No. But let's unpack this, because we've got these notes here, right, from different trails, different people.
Your scribbles and fireside tales, you mean?
Exactly. And they point towards this one place. What? Tampatihan. People say it's, well, something else entirely.
Something more than just a cave. Yeah, I got the notes.
So today we're diving deep into these sources. This miracle cave used to be called Tamwit, the dark cave. Our mission basically is to see what these notes, these stories actually tell us about it.
And maybe figure out if there's anything, you know, real behind all the whispers you love so much. Precisely. Because the main thing, the absolute core claim in these sources, it's that this cave in Uban Ratchathani, it's not just a hole in the ground. Locals believe it's a Pratu Sumwang Leb Lai, or Wang Bangbot, a gateway.
A gateway to Wan Leb Lai. The hidden city or hidden dimension, that old legend.
Yeah, a hidden dimension that supposedly overlaps with our world. Like you could just step sideways into it.
A thin spot, like you said.
That's the heart of the mystery here, you see. And it gets even wilder.
Oh, I bet it does.
The sources don't just stop at gateway. They make this really specific claim about how deep it goes. Physically deep.
How deep?
They say it's Samat Thalu Python Sifan Don Na Prathat Lao Dai. It can actually tunnel through, supposedly, all the way to 4,000 Don in Laos.
Hang on. 4,000 Don? That's miles away. Across the Mekong River.
I know.
You're telling me this cave goes under the Mekong? Seriously? It sounds like a tall tale.
It's definitely a remarkable claim for the notes, yeah. For anyone listening, 4,000 Don is this huge area of islands in the Mekong, way over the border. So, yeah, the idea is this cave burrows under everything.
Right, under everything. Okay. So, what's it like inside, according to your sources? Let's step in.
Okay, approach the entrance. First thing you see, guardians.
Naga statues. Ripon Phaionic. Big ones, the notes say. Well made. Beautiful, even.
Figures. Always Naga near water or, well, gateways, if you believe the stories.
Part of the whole setup.
So you go past them, and the air changes immediately. It gets mute sanded, pitch black. You absolutely need a light.
And the sounds.
Just the echoes, the sang nam yunt, that constant dripping water. And somewhere deeper, sang nam lai pendan, the sound of flowing water, like a stream running underground.
And bats. Bet there are bats.
Oh, yeah. The notes mention a glin kong ko nidni, a little smell of bats. Definitely bats.
Ugh. Hate bats. Fluttering things. Keep them away from me.
Well, the floor starts out paved near the entrance. Puhinen, like smooth tile or maybe marble, feels looked after.
Okay.
But then, deeper in, it changes. Back to natural cave floor. Firnin gorjap and yangni kruka. Rough, uneven stone. You have to watch your step.
Right.
And as you go deeper, following your light beam, you pass these little alcoves, you know. And inside them, people have placed fra futtarup.
Buddha images.
Offerings, even deep in the dark. Interesting.
It is. That mix of reverence and wildness, and then you reach it. Deeper still, not a rock wall, something man-made.
What?
Gonglekse, Gunjawait, iron gates, locked.
Locked gates? Now, why lock up a cave if it's just a natural wonder?
Exactly. Why block the way further in?
Unless there's something back there they don't want people finding, or maybe stumbling into, like those legends you mentioned.
Maybe it's just plain dangerous.
Well, yeah, that's possible too. And that's what the source says, actually. It gives practical reasons. Safety, mainly. The cave system is supposed to be huge, lots of branching tunnels, easy to get lost.
Makes sense.
And apparently there are sheer drops inside, too. Cliffs in the dark. You wouldn't want people falling.
No, definitely not. Okay, safety is a good reason. Nobody needs tourists getting lost or worse in a place like that. Still.
It adds to the mystique, doesn't it? Locking it up. Makes you wonder, what's really back there? What kind of danger is physical?
Yeah.
Or something else?
Pause. Right. Back to the gateway idea.
Well, it makes you think. Now, let's step back outside the main cave entrance for a second. Your notes mention something else nearby. A big statue.
Ah, yeah. The reclining Buddha. Phra Nin Ongyai. A large one.
Impressive.
Sounds like it. Notes say Pandai Samswan Sikimak. Really well-proportioned, beautiful work. Good craftsmanship.
And there's water flowing near its feet, apparently.
Yeah. Adds to the atmosphere, I guess.
It really layers that feeling of, like, history and sacredness onto the wildness of the place. And if you go outside the cave area altogether, climb up to a viewpoint the source mentions.
What do you see?
You see the landscape. Huge. Distant mountains. Maybe those are the ones over in Laos, you know. Makes you think about that 4,000 dong claim again. And these really weird rock formations.
Oh, yeah. The note said one looked like a hamburger. Mijua hembuo goloina. And another like a dragon's head. Mishamengin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nature doing some strange sculpting out there.
So it's quite a dramatic setting overall.
Definitely. Now, let's circle back to those Naga statues.
Right.
At the entrance.
All right. The guardians.
They're not just random art. They connect directly to the Tamnangguyak Nainam King Tai. These widespread legends of giant water serpents or Nagas in Thailand.
Naga are a big deal in local beliefs, right? Tied to water, rivers, lakes, hidden power.
Exactly. And the sources. Well, they mentioned the darker side of these legends, too. There's this rumor, Konjomnam Hai Peliu Wat Gyuchak Nuyak.
Meaning
when people drown or just disappear near deep water, sometimes the whispers say maybe these giant snakes were involved.
Whoa. Okay, that's pretty grim. Are you getting spooked again?
It's just what the source reports. As a belief, a rumor tied to the place. Not fact, but part of the local feeling about the power and danger lurking in the deeps.
Or maybe just cautionary tales, right? Stories to make people careful around dangerous water. You gotta listen with a grain of salt sometimes.
That's wise. These stories always have layers, and they definitely reinforce this idea of something unseen, parallel to our world, which loops back to Muang Lable, Muang Bangbat.
The hidden dimensions.
Yeah. The YouTube source describes them as Mitiranlabthi, Simthab Gap Lonmat, hidden dimensions overlapping the human world.
Right. And it also says who supposedly knows about them, doesn't it? Not just anyone.
Exactly. It's often the Kudaujenti, then the Patibat Chorp, the really respected teachers, the monks, the practitioners who've done the work. You know, they might know.
But they don't usually talk about it.
Apparently not. The source suggests they avoid it so people don't accuse them of utari, like showing off or making stuff up.
So if the wise ones keep quiet, where do the stories actually come from?
From the people out in the wilds. Fu thao fu ga ti gao dong gao pa, bai zhuan lao, kao gor jiao ma lao. The elders, the hunters, the ones who go deep into the forests and mountains.
Ah, they claim they've actually seen these places or stumbled into them, and then they tell the tales.
That's the idea. The stories come from people who physically push the boundaries of the known world. Which makes you wonder, how could someone even perceive something like that, a hidden dimension?
Yeah, how would that even work?
Well, our sources touch on that too, through this concept called kasina.
Kasina meditation, right, from the Wikipedia source, described as Withikan Patibat Samati Bapnong Nai Fraputta Satsana, a Buddhist meditation method.
The word itself means something like contemplation or focusing the object, Feng Omar.
Okay, so what's the point of it?
The idea is to use a simple object, like a colored disc maybe, or just earth or water, to help your mind fixate, get really, really focused. Steady.
Yeah, right.
The goal is to reach these very high states of meditation. Jhana states, they're called. And from there, the source says, it's possible to develop afinya samabat, supernormal powers or abilities.
Supernormal powers. Okay, like what?
Well, the source lists different types of kasina practice linked to elements earth, water, fire, air, colors. Like water kasina is supposed to be safer for beginners. Space kasina is apparently really hard, but needed for certain like higher attainments.
And what are these attainments? You mentioned powers.
Yeah, the sources connect achieving these deep meditative states, like Jhana 4, with specific abilities.
Such as?
Well, for earth kasina, maybe the ability to make things feel hard or soft. For space kasina, the ability to see hidden things, or even pass through solid objects.
Man, walk through walls. You're telling me people believe they can walk through walls?
According to this belief system described in the source, yeah.
Scoffs. Okay. What room lets me see you? The ICU. Get it. I see you.
Slight chuckle. Okay. But the idea is about achieving that profound focus, Jhana 4, and then using focused intent, a fifth and jit, to like manifest something or perceive something differently.
What about the water casino one? Can you just like make water appear? What, water never gets phone signal? Water that's over your head? Missed call?
Smiling. According to the tradition, maybe. Whether it's literal power or a major shift in how you perceive reality. Well, that's open to interpretation, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the sources definitely link the practice to these kinds of extraordinary claims.
It provides a sort of framework, though, doesn't it? A way that people within this tradition understand how someone might experience things that seem impossible to the rest of us.
Exactly. It adds another dimension, no pun intended, to those stories of the wise teachers or the old hunters who claim to see things others don't.
Right. Connects back to the cave and the legends.
It does. And exploring all this, the cave, the legends, these practices, it brings up something else fundamental that's also in these sources. Perseverance. Resilience.
How so?
Well, think about it. Navigating a deep, dark cave, surviving in the wild, trying to achieve these incredibly deep meditative states. It all takes serious effort, right? Serious dedication.
Yeah, I suppose so. It's not easy.
So the wisdom in these sources isn't just about mystery or strange powers. It's also about just getting through life, facing challenges.
Like those proverbs you pulled out. There are some solid truths there, like apamadyu amatang padang.
Heedfulness is the path to the deathless, to liberation. Powerful stuff.
Or atahi atan nature, oneself is one's own refuge. That hits home when you're out in the wilds. You rely on yourself.
Definitely. And tam suchin shusukama vahati, well-practiced dhamma, or truth, or the right way, brings happiness.
And maybe the simplest one, nati santi parang sukhang, there's no happiness higher than peace. Hard to argue with that.
Finding peace in a chaotic world. Or maybe even in a dark, mysterious cave. And even those life quotes you found.
Oh yeah, the keep fighting captions. Some of them are pretty raw. No
matter how tired, you must persevere because poverty is scary. That's real. Anyone who's struggled gets that.
Yeah.
And chiwito, may dai samsaro, may kijalomros. Life can always start anew if we don't give up. That's about hope.
It is. Or this one. Fuchana may tai konti may kwalom leo, tepang konti may koilom na ising tituangtam. A winner isn't someone who never fails, but someone who never gives up.
Keep going, like the turtle ones. Jong chai chiwit hamijoin tao tengamay manjate man kor may koy din toy lang.
Live like a turtle. Slow, maybe, but never walking backward. Slow, steady progress.
Slow and steady might get you eaten out here. But I take the point. Don't go backward. Keep pushing. Exactly. Pihai sutya, yorum yutshigam pro nuai. Go all the way, don't stop just because you're tired. That's the spirit you need, right? For exploring deep places or deep ideas.
Yeah. Got it. Keep going. But you need a bit of lightness too, don't you? Can't be serious all the time. Speaking of which, where is the Naga?
Playing along. Uh-oh.
Where? Beside the matchbox. Is that the punchline?
Yukong glong like heat. Beside the matchbox. You got it? See? Even a silly joke keeps things in perspective.
Groans lightly. Oh, brother. Okay, hit me with another one. Get it over with.
All right. Blaari maimi samakaroa. Which fish has no respect?
A dead fish. Platai. Because it doesn't weigh, doesn't bow.
Bingo. See? These little observations, the bits of humor, they're part of the journey too. Keep you grounded when you're talking about hidden dimensions and, all that stuff.
Yeah, okay, grounded is good.
So let's pull it together. What do we actually glean from this deep dive into your sources? We've looked at Wat Tem Patahan, this real cave, but one that's wrapped in stories about being a gateway to Wang Lablay, these hidden dimensions.
Right, with that wild claim about tunneling to Laos.
Exactly. We touched on the related legends, the Naga serpents, the whispers about disappearances in deep water.
That's spooky stuff.
And then we looked at how these beliefs might connect to actual practices like Kasina meditation, which aims for deep focus and, according to the tradition, potential abilities beyond the norm.
And the wisdom stuff, the proverbs, perseverance.
Right. So it's this whole tapestry, isn't it? A physical place, folklore, spiritual practice, and just basic life wisdom all woven together.
Yeah, this collection of sources, it definitely doesn't give you simple answers, does it? It's more like it lays out a landscape of belief.
How so?
It shows how people try to make sense of mystery, the things they can't easily explain, the unseen world, and human potential, maybe. What we're capable of. It kind of makes you ask, how do these different ways of seeing things, through exploring caves, through telling stories, through intense meditation, how do they actually shape how people experience reality?
That's a great question. It suggests the deep dive isn't just about finding facts, maybe. It's about exploring different realities, different perspectives. Maybe the biggest mysteries aren't just out there in some dark cave or old legend. Maybe they're also in here.
In our own minds.
Yeah. In our ability to perceive, to believe, to interact with the world in ways we don't fully grasp yet. Perhaps the journey into the unseen. Maybe it starts inside us.
Something to think about, I guess.
Definitely something to think about. Until next time.